What if I told you that the cure for diseases, the secrets of the cosmos, and the complete works of history's greatest minds were all gathered in one place, and then burned to ash? This isn't a dystopian fantasy. It is the story of a real place, a place that held the accumulated knowledge of the entire ancient world. This is the story of the Great Library of Alexandria and the day knowledge itself died. Welcome to Hidden Past. Our story begins not with fire, but with a dream. In the 4th century BCE, a new power rose from Macedonia, Alexander the Great. His ambition wasn't just to conquer lands, but to unite cultures. In the heart of his new Egyptian capital, Alexandria, a shining city of marble and gold on the edge of the Mediterranean, his successor, Ptolemy I, envisioned something unprecedented. A universal library, a place where every scroll from every corner of the known world would be gathered, translated, and preserved for all time. It was more than a building, it was an institution. The Mausoleum, or Shrine of the Muses, became the world's first true university. Scholars, scientists, philosophers, poets, and mathematicians flocked to its halls. They were given free board, lodging, and a salary. Their only job: to think, to debate, to discover. The library was the engine of this intellectual paradise. Ptolemy's decree was simple but ruthless. Any ship docking in Alexandria's harbor had to surrender its books. Scribes would feverishly copy the scrolls. The originals were kept for the library. The copies were returned to their owners. Knowledge was a treasure to be seized. At its peak, the Library of Alexandria was the beating heart of civilization. Imagine walking through its colonnades, surrounded by towering shelves holding an estimated 500,000 papyrus scrolls. Here, Eratosthenes calculated the circumference of the Earth with astonishing accuracy. Here, Hero of Alexandria built the world's first steam engine. Euclid wrote his Elements, the foundation of geometry for the next millennia. The plays of Sophocles and Euripides, the histories of Herodotus, the philosophies of Plato all were housed within these walls, alongside countless texts we now know only by name. It was a repository of human genius, a testament to what we could achieve when we worked together. But history has a strange way of punishing ambition. The light that burns brightest often casts the darkest shadow. The story of the library's end is not a single event, but a slow, agonizing death by 1,000 cuts. It's a tale shrouded in mystery, with many suspects and no single culprit. Some say its story wasn't just lost ... it was deliberately erased. Our first suspect is one of history's most famous figures, Julius Caesar. In 48 BCE, Caesar found himself besieged in Alexandria during a brutal civil war. To gain a strategic advantage, he ordered his men to set fire to the Egyptian fleet in the harbor. The flames, whipped by the sea breeze, spread uncontrollably. They consumed warehouses, docks, and parts of the city near the shore. Ancient writers, like Seneca and Plutarch, claim the fire reached the library, devouring tens of thousands of scrolls. Was this the fatal blow? An accidental tragedy born from the chaos of war? For a time, it was believed so. But the library wasn't a single building. It was a sprawling complex. While a fire almost certainly damaged a significant portion, evidence suggests the main institution survived, wounded but not destroyed. The dream was not yet dead. For the next few centuries, the Library of Alexandria continued to function, but its golden age was over. The Roman Empire, which now controlled Egypt, had little of the Ptolemies' passion for scholarship. Budgets were slashed, foreign scholars were expelled. The intellectual energy that once electrified its halls began to fade. The library became a symbol of a glorious past, a relic slowly decaying from neglect. It was a long, sad decline, a slow unraveling of the world's greatest intellectual achievement. Then, in the 4th century CE, a new force swept across the empire: religious zeal. The old pagan gods were being replaced by Christianity. In 391 CE, the Roman Emperor Theodosius I issued a decree to close all pagan temples. The Patriarch of Alexandria, a fervent man named Theophilus, saw his chance. He led a mob to the Serapeum, a magnificent temple that housed a daughter library containing thousands of precious scrolls. The mob, fueled by religious righteousness, stormed the sacred site. They tore down the statues, defaced the carvings, and put the scrolls to the torch. This was no accident of war. This was a deliberate act of cultural destruction, an attempt to erase the past to make way for a new future. It was a devastating blow, another chapter in the death of the library. The final, definitive end is perhaps the most contested and mysterious part of the story. Centuries later, in 640 CE, the Arab army led by Amr ibn al-As conquered Alexandria. According to a story written 600 years after the event, the conquering general asked the Caliph Omar what to do with the books. The Caliph's alleged reply was chilling. If those books are in agreement with the Quran, we have no need of them. And if these are opposed to the Quran, destroy them. And so, the legend goes, the remaining scrolls of the Great Library were distributed among Alexandria's 4,000 bathhouses, used as fuel to heat the water for 6 months. 500,000 stories, philosophies, and scientific treatises turning to smoke and steam. Most modern historians doubt this story is true, viewing it as later propaganda. But the image is so powerful because it speaks to a terrifying truth. That knowledge is fragile, and that ideology can be its most dangerous enemy. So who, or what, killed the Library of Alexandria? The truth is, there was no single fire, no single villain. It wasn't one event. It was a process. It was the fire of Caesar's ambition, the slow decay of imperial neglect, the fury of religious intolerance, and finally, the silence of history itself. The library died as it was born, through the actions of humanity. We created it, and we allowed it to perish. Today, nothing remains of the Great Library. Its exact location is lost to time, buried somewhere beneath the modern city of Alexandria. We are left only with the ghost of what was lost. How many scientific breakthroughs were set back by centuries? How many epic poems and forgotten histories can we never read? What secrets of our own past have been lost forever? We can only wonder. The burning of the library wasn't just the loss of scrolls. It was the loss of possibilities. It was a memory wiped from the mind of the world. It serves as a haunting reminder that knowledge is not guaranteed. It must be protected, cherished, and passed on. Because once it's gone, it can be lost forever in the smoke of our own ignorance. If you believe some stories are too important to be forgotten, join us on our journey into the past. Subscribe for more tales from the hidden past.